Hi, my name's Phil. I like talking about politics, and in this video I would like to shamelessly point out just how bad Rishi Sunak is as a Prime Minister, a Minister and a politician. Again. On the basis of today's performance, he would do better to get his sock puppet out. But first, if you'd like to be notified of daily news and politics, please subscribe to the channel. So Rishi Sunak went out amongst his people again today. It did not go well. I'm not sure what else should be expected of a man who tried to pay for petrol with a can of cola he hadn't bought yet, or who asked a homeless man if they were in business. He was addressing some workers at an IKEA warehouse today. Look how happy they are to listen to what he says. I mean, seriously, look at it. I get not everyone is going to be riveted to listen to a politician talking. I appreciate, I've been a teacher, I know how this works. I appreciate some of them may have been press ganged into it. Who wants to listen to the Prime Minister? No. Oh, we need some people. Get your asses on those seats. I get that. You'll always have some. They have the odd one with the crossed arms or the rolled eyes because they'll either not share the political ideas or just they're bored with a speech. They don't want a speech. But my goodness me, look at the state of it. But never mind the optics. There were plenty of face palms in the exchange, but I want to focus on what I suspect would be the more famous one. He was asked about the NHS. Top issue for many voters, and Rishi Sunak has been dismantling it quicker than Johnson did. Rishi Sunak needs a good answer here. This is important, vital even. He knew he would be asked about it. Of course he would. You go out amongst the people. The NHS is one of people's top concerns. He said he had a really, really good plan. Not a good plan. Not even a really good plan. A really, really good plan. Thought he was in trouble there for a minute. Of course, it does beg the question, may we see the plan? After all, the Tories have been in power for 13 years and we're still not quite sure what the plan is other than to break up the NHS and sell it off. And, you know, after 13 years in power, they're in a state now where they're very unlikely to add much more than another one to the tally before being shown the door, 1.5 tops. Certainly no more than 18 months before going to the polls, by which time that plan had better have worked miracles. So what sort of plan is it? Well, Sunak provided some further details. Well, that's good. Boris Johnson used to just say he had a plan and that was that. Nothing further was ever discussed. We're still waiting to see for the social care plan he had years ago. You know, once Boris Johnson announced he had a plan, that was it. But Sunak is different. In fact, he said that today to the eagerly assembled throng. He said, I'm doing things differently. I'm not like Boris Johnson, you know. Rishi Sunak doesn't simply say he has a plan. He has details. So what were these details then? He said that the plan involved being a bit clever about how we do things. Right. Not kidding, that's what he said, by the way. I know sometimes I can embellish things. No, this is actually what he said. I think he would probably have been better off sticking to Johnson's modus operandum and just saying he had a plan and leaving it at that. And although I ridicule, it just shows how terrible Sunak is at this. That answer hasn't convinced anyone in that crowd. If anyone was concerned about the NHS, they're still concerned. In fact, actually, they might be more concerned about the NHS. Because they may have thought to themselves, I'm concerned about the NHS, but I'm sure the Prime Minister has a plan. I would just like to ask him what it is. And then he says that and you think, yeah, he ain't got a plan, has he? He ain't got a plan. You know, I've seen some proper thick people go along with obviously unworkable plans, but I've never met anyone thick enough to be bought off with, I've got a cunning plan. Because that's what his response amounted to. Boris Johnson used to think of himself as modelled on Winston Churchill. Rishi Sunak is trying to emulate Baldrick. And if the Tories are not planning an election until deep into next year, we're going to have a lot of this. This country is going to hell. They are destroying everything. But this time, at least, they're also destroying themselves. You know, I no longer feel I can really say that Labour's lead is all that soft. I mean, technically it is. You know, in theory, they could get complacent and stuff things up. But assuming they don't, and they seem serious and focused to me, the Tories are buggered. With each passing month, they're hurting more and more people in a way which becomes increasingly difficult to blame on others. Sunak has now surely also knackered his chances of a tax-cutting budget next year. At least if he tries, he's likely to do just as much damage in another area of their electability. He is, after all, inviting a recession. And he's going to keep going out and talking to the public like this. He has shown absolutely no signs of improvement. This is still the same man who tried to pay for petrol with a can of pop. And the Tories have got nobody to replace him with. Even if they did, the act of replacing him would do more harm than good, I suspect. 4 leaders inside the same parliament, and you've got a large majority. And if they do leave the election another year and a half, just think how many more by-elections we could get in as well. The latest polling shows the Conservatives are currently just as unpopular as they were in the darkest days of Liz Truss. But the situation for them is even worse. So no serious prospect of clawing it back, other than, there'll be the odd upturn, the odd week where they go, oh, look, it's going up, well done, Rishi, where they all get excited before realising it's just the natural up and down, it's down again the next week. But the trend is now irrecoverable. The Tories' only chance was in getting a leader who appeared plausible. That was it. They had Boris Johnson with the reckless excess. They had Liz Truss, absolutely insane. They needed a plausible leader, someone who looked sane, someone who looked like he had a plan. What's your plan for the NHS? Being a bit clever. Bloody hell. What must Tory MPs watching that have thought? But there we are. Those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below. Hope you found the video interesting. If you did, please click the like button. If you'd like to support the channel further, the join button for memberships. And until next time, I'll see you later.